Dr. Terence Drew signaled a new era of governance involving the Parliament, calling on the opposition members of Parliament to do their part in serving the people of the country. Speaking at a 27th October sitting of the National Assembly, the first since representatives of the Sknnewsline Labour Party won in an August 2022 general elections, Prime Minister Drew wants Parliament to operate according to its rules and standards.
Madam Speaker, we also look forward to a robust season of debates in this Honourable House and a new era where timely bills are properly circulated among all stakeholders, duly passed and clearly explained to the general public at large, and how these laws or the amendments can impact their lives or the lives of our citizens and residents. However, it is very clear to us on this side of the House that we cannot do it alone. Therefore, we invite the members of the opposition to play their part in bringing their thoughts, ideas, and support to the nation's parliamentary business and processes. As a government, we intend to work with the interests of our people in mind and keep everyone actively engaged in our transparent and fresh approach to governance and the rule of law. And let me say, Madam Speaker, I hope you would have seen it, where SKNWsline has, of course, increased its standing when it comes to the rule of law on the international stage. I've said over and over again, without the rule of law, there can be no nation, no democracy.
After a disappointing experiment with the Team Unity Coalition government, the people of St. Nevis are now looking forward to real transparency and good governance. Glenn Bart reporting for Sknnewsline. The Ministry of Health on St. Kitts confirmed an early morning suicide of a patient at the JNF General Hospital on 27 October 2022. After the incident began making the rounds on social media, an official statement was issued by the ministry that confirmed the incident took place around 3:30 a.m. It is understood that the family of the psychiatric patient has been informed of the tragic incident. The ministry's statement said the administration of the Joseph N. France General Hospital will investigate the matter and its findings will be shared with the family. The news media were informed that JNF General Hospital authorities are reviewing measures to ensure the safety of patients and staff. Glenn Bart reporting for Sknnewsline.
Your vehicle is very important to you. That's why you should ensure it gets the best service and care possible only at IAS Diagnostic Center, located at Bird Rock behind the Life Fitness Center gym. Come to IAS Diagnostic Center for wheel alignment, rotor cutting, AC servicing, wheel balancing, oil filter change, diagnostic, tire repair and sale, tinting, and much more. With top-of-the-line equipment, come to IAS Diagnostic Center in Bird Rock. Opening hours Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Call 767-4422, 662-4416 or 466-6708. IAS Diagnostic Center for quality care of your vehicle.
Want to get away? Now you can.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your National Bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
The Sknnewsline website now offers you more news. Log on to www.sknnewsline.com for local, regional, and international news. You can also watch the latest newscast and keep abreast with news in sports. All from sknnewsline.com. That's www.sknnewsline.com. News at your fingertips. Nestled between evergreen mountains and the Caribbean Sea on the island of St. Kitts is the Millhouse Guest House and Convention Center. With breathtaking views, a rugged, beautiful shoreline, and immaculate manicured gardens make this the perfect location for your holiday, event, or wedding. With a large convention center, apartments with balconies providing stunning views, and a secluded cottage for larger family groups or honeymooning couples looking for some privacy. We have something for everyone. Book your stay at www.millhouseskn.com or visit our Facebook page, the Millhouse Guest House and Convention Center, an oasis of tranquility.
It's the gospel event of the year. Tehillah Band presents G5's Go Party. Friday, November 18th, 7 p.m. The Church of God of Prophecy at Buckley's location. Featuring headline artists from St. Lucia, Emran Henry.
Man, we are coming out. We are coming with the
From the British Virgin Islands, Red White,
take it.
from Queens to the Neighbors, Restoration Gospel Band.
We wanna see Jesus.
And from Sweet Sugar Fire St. Kitts, M1, Roots Band, and the host band, Tehillah.
We pressing God. We going all over God.
It's comedy, live music, prizes, games, and ministry. Get your early bird tickets now for only $40 until October 31st. Regular price for tickets, $50. Purchase tickets at Bev's Enterprises on 4th Street. On Nevis, call Yolanda de Castro at 663-7655. Tickets can also be purchased on JAD at events.jad.cash/G-Vibes. It's G-Vibes Glow Party. Friday, November 18th, 7 p.m. at the Church of God of Prophecy, Buckley's location. Come on out and let's turn nightlife into light life for Jesus Christ.
Holy Ghost, I'm a warrior. Earth, that's a hacker. I'm a warrior.
From October 31st, 2022, Makana Ferry will add St. Kitts to its list of affordable ferry destinations. A press release on the St. Kitts Tourism Authority said this week. Makana, an Hawaiian term denoting a gift or reward, offers exciting new travel opportunities to the island, the release added. The MV Makana is a Sabre catamaran fast ferry carrying 150 passengers across 2 decks, a central lower patio, an upper deck with a covered business class area, and an open sun deck area. The vessel is fully air-conditioned with a bar service area and 2 heads of passenger convenience. The inter-island ferry service welcomes voyages from St. Eustatius, St. Martin, and Sabre, respectively. Makana, adding St. Kitts to its ferry destinations, allows travelers to experience the island's offerings, including Sugar Mass Carnival, the St. Kitts Music Festival held annually in June, as well as many other on-island events and attractions. The release added that for over 30 years, Makana has provided ferry services between Anguilla and St. Martin and cargo shipping services between Anguilla, St. Martin, Sabre, St. Eustatius, and St. Kitts. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline. With the absence of a robust regional carrier, the future of interregional travel is under the microscope. It was an issue 2 Caribbean officials were asked about at the recently held IMF annual meetings in Washington, D.C. Finance Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Camilo Gonzalez, told reporters that a study is currently being commissioned to determine the best way forward for regional travel, and that he hopes this is completed soon.
So what we have done at the level of the Caribbean Development Bank is get a general agreement from all the governments of the region that whatever replaces LIAT, whatever comes thereafter, is going to have buy-in and support from all the countries that this airline serves. That's a very important advancement because in the past, many countries did not chip in when things were difficult. So that's the first thing. The CDB is currently finalizing a study that tells us the following things. In this post-LIAT environment, what is the optimal aircraft we should use? What is the optimal number of aircraft we need? What is the optimal location of a hub for the aircraft? What are the likely profitable routes and what are the routes that are unprofitable but nonetheless necessary? to what extent can the profitable routes subsidize the unprofitable routes? And what is the formula by which all governments will have to chip in to the upkeep of this regional airline? They have not yet finalized that report, and we're awaiting that report. The heads of government will deliberate on it very soon.
Mr. Gonzalez lamented that the COVID-19 pandemic was the death knell for regional carrier Liat.
So here's where we are. Just like COVID killed a lot of people with pre-existing conditions, COVID killed Liat, which had its own pre-existing conditions. And I think that we collectively, the governments of the region, probably didn't effectively anticipate the day after COVID when tourism would return and Liat wouldn't be there to carry people around. The fact of the matter is that the previous structure, where the cost of supporting Liat was borne almost exclusively by Barbados, Antigua and Barbuda and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, could not continue. Other countries could not be free riders in the process. Every country has to chip in if we're going to have an effective regional travel solution. Don't forget that a lot of people out there said, get rid of Liat. The private sector will come in and the private sector will solve the problem, and as long as we get this government-funded inefficient entity out of the way, the private sector will magically replace it. Well, we've seen what happened. That was always a fallacy, and I think that a lot of people now realize that it was a fallacy.
Meanwhile, Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Timothy Antoine, stressed the importance of robust interregional travel to economic development of the Caribbean.
Interregional travel is a regional public good. It's a bridge. So by its very definition, we have to approach it as a region. We have to work together. I think what the countries are expressing is a certain level of anxiety and impatience with the process to get to a resolution. But by definition, because you have to look at a number of things. The leasing of the planes is one, tax fees and charges is another, the interline agreements among airlines is another. I mean, there are a range of issues to be looked at when you think about the aircraft that we use based on the routes that are being used or selected. There are a range of issues, and that is why the work is now going on, the technical work, to try to put together some kind of framework to guide these decisions. I think the good news is that most of our governments recognize that some government contribution is required, but it has to be done in a particular way.
Liat has significantly cut routes since the COVID-19 pandemic, triggering massive layoffs at the airline and difficulties in commuting across the Caribbean. No suitable alternative has yet been found. Andre Huey, Sknnewsline. Your vehicle is very important to you. That's why you should ensure it gets the best service and care possible only at IAS Diagnostic Center, located at Bird Rock behind the Life Fitness Center gym. Come to IAS Diagnostic Center for wheel alignment, rotor cutting, AC servicing, wheel balancing, oil filter change, diagnostic, tire repair and sale, tinting, and much more. With top-of-the-line equipment, come to IAS Diagnostic Center in Bird Rock. Opening hours Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Call 767-4422, 662-4416, or 466-6708. IAS Diagnostic Center for quality care of your vehicle.
Mimi, what's that song? There is no better time to discover what your National Bank Visa debit card can do. It can get you out of a pickle. Using my National Bank Visa card is fast, secure, and convenient.
Cashless SKN is our new lifestyle choice. National Bank, always here.
Online radio has never been this great. It's Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net. Tune into Voice of the Caribbean Radio for great Caribbean programs, news, entertainment, sports, and current affairs. Wake up each morning and be inspired with One Day at a Time with Kim Huey. Stay abreast with news across the Caribbean and internationally with the Caribbean News Hour, and be entertained with shows like Reggaeville, Caribbean Classics, and Jive Music Show. Visit our website, download our Android mobile app, or listen us on TuneIn Radio. There is so much more on Voice of the Caribbean Radio, reaching the Caribbean and beyond. Check website or app for program schedule.
Auto Plus Car Wash, located on the College Street Gut, Bastille, St. Kitts. Bring your car to Auto Plus Car Wash to remove water stains, wiper marks. Get your doors, roof panel cleaned, seat floor mats, buffing, headlights, and engine wash. You get quality service at the best price at Auto Plus Car Wash. They really care for your car. Call 765-5140 or visit them on the College Street Gut, Bastille, St. Kitts. Auto Plus Car Wash, where the service is number one. If you're looking for a place to host that special event, conference, meeting, social event, party, whatever the occasion, your best option is the Millhouse Convention Center in Palmetto Point, St. Kitts. Located on the picturesque Garvey's Estate, the Millhouse Guesthouse Convention Center has enough space for outdoor events overlooking the Caribbean Sea. If you're looking indoors, the center is equipped with amenities needed to make your event a success. And by combining both spaces, you're sure to have a memorable event, no matter the occasion. Call the offices at Millhouse Guesthouse and Convention Center to book your next event on simply the most beautiful place in St. Kitts. Call 668-1392. Millhouse Convention Center at Garvey's Estate, Palmetto Point, St. Kitts. Making your event memorable.
Since the emergence of polio, a disabling and infectious life-threatening disease caused by the polio virus, there has been a global campaign to eliminate this disease from the world. While there hasn't been any case of the disease detected in Guyana for the past 25 years, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony, while speaking on his daily health update on Thursday, announced that since the Pan American Health Organization and World Health Organization have launched their trivalent oral polio vaccines in the Americas, which has 3 components, Guyana has not seen any case of the disease.
And we have made that switch, and we did that in 2016. So 2016, we start switching out from oral polio vaccines to now the inactivated vaccine type 1 and type 2.
The minister explained that the vaccines have since been proven 100% effective as part of the Ministry of Health's robust vaccination campaign, which he described as very successful. Importantly, he underscored that Guyana has eliminated disease.
We have actually eliminated polio. We don't see polio cases here. And that's because we have a very robust vaccination program.
According to Minister Anthony, Guyana has recorded a total of 94% polio vaccination coverage in 2017, which remained the same in 2018, while an estimated 97% of coverage was recorded in 2019 and had declined to 91% in 2020 due to COVID-19. With the robust campaign continuing the following year, he revealed that the vaccination coverage increased to 98% after the introduction of a second dose of the inactivated polio jab in 2019.
And at the time when we introduced it, we were at 97% coverage. Again, we had seen a dip in 2020, which was about 91%. But in 2021, we have been able to increase that to 97%.
The subject minister also assured that the coverage rates will be maintained, although Guyana has not recorded any cases of the disease for over 25 years. The viral disease largely affects children under 5 years of age, while cases have decreased by over 99% since 1988 from an estimated 350,000 cases in more than 125 endemic countries, with 175 reported cases in 2019, and Afghanistan and Pakistan being the 2 endemic countries for the disease. Reporting for the AGP 90 News, Joel Vogt.
Following reports of an extensive outbreak of bird flu in chickens and turkeys throughout the United States, Lance Pinder, owner of Abaco Big Bird Poultry Farm, says his business is feeling the negative impact.
The bird flu has had impacts on us because it's created such shortages in the United States. The broiler eggs and the broiler breeder flocks have really been impacted. So it's the getting the young bird has been a real challenge.
According to international reports, the disease has spread across 24 U.S. states since it was first detected in Indiana on February 8, 2022. More than 47 million chickens have reportedly died due to infections. This resulting in individuals cracking down on chicken exports, lowered egg and turkey production, and the drastic increase on poultry globally, further exacerbating economic pain for consumers grappling with soaring inflation. And according to Pinder, it has also created production issues for his business.
When you're a meat producer, it's not like when you do eggs, you bring those in, those chicks, you got them for like 2 years. Broiler, when you're in meat production, that's a constant. Every week or two, you have to replace those birds because they're on like about 7-week cycles.
Agriculture Minister Clay Sweeting says, however, that government is working on how they can soften the blow of bird flu on local producers.
Any external factors, right, will affect costs. It's something that, of course, we'll monitor. As a government, we're trying to find creative ways to lower the price of food and cost. As long as I think, as a ministry and as a government, we continue to find creative ways to empower individuals in the poultry sector. So when circumstances such as bird flu occur, we are able to stand our own 2 feet because we are producing our own food.
Meanwhile, the outbreak of bird flu has been another roadblock for production businesses like Abaco Big Bird. First Hurricane Dorian, the COVID-19 pandemic, and now the rapid spread of this deadly virus. Consequently, Pinder says it could take some time before those in the production industry can see their businesses rebound.
Probably be another 2 years at least if we don't suffer any more shocks. I feel like all we've been doing the last year or two instead of rebuilding is we're putting out fires. It's like, oh my God, this week we can't get the young birds, what are we going to do? So we're scrambling to do that, and we're scrambling to do this, and then we're still rebuilding and fixing things and getting things going and trying to keep our staff employed because it's been, some of them, we've only been able to employ them part-time, so you have to keep them and keep them in a living because they, unless they got to go somewhere else. So we've been dealing with all of these challenges.
But he's also pleading with residents to support local producers to help the industry get back to pre-Hurricane Dorian levels.
I know everyone wants the government to do stuff and everything, but we really need, the farmers need the support of the local consumers for us to keep going. When you go in the grocery store, ask the managers, why is there no local this or that or the other in the shop? Make them buy it, because that's a big challenge the farmers have too, is getting our stuff to the consumers.
Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
When darkness falls over Kyiv, it falls heavy. Streetlights turned off, households saving power, neighborhoods cycling through blackouts after weeks of sustained Russian strikes on the country's energy grid. Ukraine's president using the darkness in his nightly address.
We are not afraid of darkness. The darkest times for us are not the times without light, but those without freedom.
During daytime, life here can seem deceptively normal. But the recent resumption of strikes on the city and the mounting pressure on civilian infrastructure is bringing the war ever closer to home.
In my apartment now, I really have a weak temperature, like most of Ukrainians. But of course, I'm worried. I don't know what we can expect in the future.
The Russian campaign over the last couple of weeks has been highly systematic, targeting not so much large power-generating facilities as smaller substations that transfer the electricity to the rest of the grid, Soviet-era and with parts that are hard to replace. Restoring supply is proving difficult. It's a tactic that threatens homes, businesses and the digital space. Here at Lanet, they provide internet access to hundreds of thousands of customers. Their servers automatically switch to a diesel generator when the power is cut.
The population usually gets information, alerts, news, explanation from the government. It's usually all done through the internet.
People here are having to improvise. Generators are in scarce supply. Disappointment for Natalia and Alexander, who are looking for extra insulation as well, but that was also sold out. Back home, they say they're doing their part to save power, but almost everything in their apartment runs on electricity. For all their positivity, the pain of this war intrudes all too easily. Memories of the last winter, when they were under Russian occupation in a nearby village, are informing their fears of the coming one.
They don't know how to fight a war, so they start bombing the civilian side. Kids die, many people with disabilities already. Horrific things.
Outside, the late autumn night is closing in and the temperature is dropping. Across Kyiv, across Ukraine, people are bracing for a long, difficult, dark winter. Harry Fawcett, Al Jazeera, Kyiv.
Uganda has opened up a new Ebola treatment unit in Mubende, the epicenter of the outbreak, as the number of confirmed cases in the country continues to rise. Uganda has so far reported 14 cases of Ebola in the Greater Kampala region. The country's health minister confirmed Monday, but sought to assure anxious residents that the situation in the capital was under control.
So the one that the minister has just opened will have about a capacity of holding 60 Ebola patients. And also in Kampala, we are setting up one at the Murago National Referral Hospital in the praying ground. We also have an Ebola isolation unit in Entebbe.
So far, the death toll stands at 44, according to the World Health Organization figures last week. Uganda's health ministry, meanwhile, says there have been 90 confirmed cases overall and 28 deaths.
The situation in the other ETU is that it is full to capacity, majorly with cases coming in from Kasanda. So we had to evacuate the mental health unit to accommodate some of the patients. But on Monday, once this space is created, then some of the patients can be shifted here.
Uganda last recorded fatality from a previous Ebola outbreak was in 2019. The particular strain now circulating in the country is known as the Sudan Ebola virus, for which there is currently no vaccine.
Two teams with identical records were hoping to distinguish themselves. Lakers went ahead in the 4th minute, courtesy of Henry Jonquil own goal. But Charlottesville talisman Akeelan Murphy made the best of the service from a 6th minute free kick to bring them back level. Murphy put Charlottesville ahead in the 23rd after another corner wasn't dealt with, and K.L. Moore gobbled up the chance. But Murphy had the last word, earning his team a share of the points. Both teams are 5th and 6th on 5 points. Calder Hall FC hosted Signal Hill United and had a chance to spoil their opponent's drive toward the top of the Central Conference. The game provided the requisite drama, Calder Hall registering their first shot in anger. The next 6 shots came from Signal Hill players as they began to dominate proceedings earlier on. However, a lack of accuracy and some dogged defending from Calder Hall backline ensured that the scores remained goalless. Calder Hall toiled on both ends to carve out some chances of their own, but they too struggled to hit the target under pressures. Both teams went into the half tied goalless. In the second half, Signal Hill continued to test their supporters' patience with some dismal finishing in the final third. But there had to be a feeling that they would find the net sooner or later. The lesser fancied outfit fought for everything they got out of this match, though neither side could find the cutting edge. For all their approach play, the Central Conference second best team should have wrapped this one up sooner. Instead, it was Calder Hall that was presented with a chance to go in front from the penalty spot after their attacker was bundled over. However, the chance was spurned, adding to the frustration seeping into a dewy evening in Tobago. It would boil over 3 minutes before the end of regulation time. In the 2nd minute of added on time, more drama. Calder Hall, running on fumes, still had enough in the tank to stretch the Signal Hill defense and the keeper. And Shaquille Cox was there to tuck in the opener 1-0. Still, there was more. A free kick in the 3rd minute of extra time, allowed to be taken quickly, and Kadeem Roberts at the doorstep to close this one off in spectacular fashion. Real smash and grab stuff. With the point, Signal Hill is now on 14, 4 behind leaders Stokely Vale. Calder Hall are 5th on 8th.
Welcome to the SKN Newsline Weather Report. I am Janil Boone. Here is a look at the forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. For a more detailed weather report, visit our website at www.sknnewsline.com.